What first attracted me to Franklin half dollars? Well, several things. Number one, it's the last series struck entirely on 90% silver planchets. Number two, back in the 1940s, 50s, and early 60s when these coins were struck, these were like the old days when the technology was really not advanced. And the technology was still the same basic technology that the mint was using, for example, to make proof coins as they were using back in the 1800s. And number three, the mintages of proof and mint state Franklins were really low by modern standards. And that began to change in the Franklin series when you got into the late 50s and early 60s. But proof Franklins are a real favorite of mine because when you can find them in really nice high-grade condition, they're great, great coins to collect, and they're very modestly priced. And I've got a great preferred client special for you this week. I've got this set in proof 67. Now I have two sets. I have the complete set from 1950 to 1963 in signature proof 67. And then I have a smaller set. It starts in 1954, goes through 1963, the 10 coin set. Now I only have 3 of the complete sets. I have about 25 of the 10 coin sets. I'd like you to take a look at these. They're all exceptional proof 67s in my signature series. First of all, let me show you the price guide pricing on these two sets. Here's the complete set where I've got the mint state mintages, the proof mintages, how many have been graded in 6, 7 in signature, and the current price guide values. You can see the 1950. They only issued 51,386 coins that year. 57,500, 81,980. The mintages were really, really low in these early years because this is the era where our country was just coming out of World War II. There weren't that many people who could afford to collect coins. It wasn't until you had the growth of the middle class in the late 50s when you saw a boom in collecting. 1957, when the mint issued over 1.2 million proof sets. That's the first time they went over 1 million. But then you had other problems crop up in the late 50s, things like milk spots and hairlines that found their way onto proof coins because of improper die preparation, improper coin blank preparation. This was the era when proofs were still being made the old-fashioned way, where the craftsmen were preparing the proof dies, preparing the coin blanks. These proof coins were struck very much in the same manner as proof coins struck back in the 1800s. And that's what makes these proof Franklins so special. Because when you get into the modern era, like in the late 70s and later, technology's really taken over. And in the modern era, the typical proof coin grade's proof 69. I've never handled a 1950 or 1951 in proof 69. And in this early era, to get a proof 67 is really, really special. And you could see only 35 graded of the 1950, 31 of the 1951. But here's what's most important. I took the populations from April of last year and compared them to the end of January of this year. And you could see over that last just about 10 months, I've only certified one 1950 in proof 67. There's only been an increase of 1 coin. 1951, only 4 coins. 52, only 6 coins. 53, only 5 coins. 54, only 3 coins. And then you take a jump in 1955 to 63 coins. Now we're in the era of the flat pack. There's a little better quality, even though half the 55s were issued in boxes. The numbers are higher once you get from 1956 to 1963. A lot of those came out of an amazing hoard of approximately 40,000 unopened sealed sets. I've got a box, and this is what's amazing. These are 1955s in their original mint box. I've showed this in other presentations. You'll continue to see me show this in future presentations because this is really special. This is like going to the museum. This belongs in the Smithsonian. An original box of 100 1955 proof sets. They only struck about 370-some thousand proof sets that year. Who orders a box of 100 sets from the U.S. Mint? And they're in their original envelopes. You can see how neatly arrayed they are in the box just as they left the mint. And you pull one of these out, take a look at this. It's just like it was packed yesterday. I mean, The paper is probably a little darker because it's 70 years old, but it looks brand new in terms of condition. This is amazing. And it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. That's why you're seeing some of these 55 to 63s that have been graded over the last several months. Now those early sets, and I write about this in my first book from 1950 through mid-1955. This is what I call the box set era. When the proof sets were issued in these small cardboard boxes. And you can see this is a 1953 set. This was actually mailed in this third-class insured mail in this small cardboard box, a 1953 proof set, an original box. Gives you an idea of how far the mint has progressed. This is what I call the Stone Age of proof making. Nowadays, the proofs come in hard, plastic, inert packaging where the coins are very safe, state-of-the-art technology to make the proof coins. They're all really high grade. You got it back then in the early 50s, and you get your proof set, and it's wrapped in tissue paper. And this one now, it's quite aged, and the cellophane breaks apart. You can see the rust from the staple here. And what typically would happen is the heaviest coins would break out of the cellophane first. So you see the penny and the dime are still encapsulated, but the nickel, quarter, and half have broken out of those cellophane envelopes. And this is when they abrade and get damaged, and they have a lot of heavy toning. And here's your typical 1953 from storage in this cellophane envelope for decades and decades and decades. So you've got the low mintage and the really poor storage. And so even coins in proof 67, the 1954 is a tough year to get in signature proof 67, because a signature proof 67 is going to be a coin that has fabulous eye appeal, that has pristine surfaces. It looks as pristine as the day it was struck. Now, 1954 struck over 70 years ago. That came out of these box sets. Most of them have a lot of heavy toning. Here's one. I've cracked the holder open so I could take the cover off. It's a proof 67, but what you'll see, that heavy toning around the rim. Let me take the cover off. You can see it a little bit better. That really doesn't come off. And then when we flip it around, you'll see just a heavy toning all over the surface of the coin. Here's another one. And most of your 54s in proof 67 have these kinds of issues. So what I have today, I've got the complete set from 50 to 63. I have a preferred client special. If you want one of those three sets, one of the only three, because I only have three 1950s in stock right now and three 1951s. Now, there aren't very many half-dollar series where you can get a complete set of anything in proof 67 for under 6 figures, folks. I mean, the Walker series is from only 1936 to 1942. It has half as many dates. And that set would run you in proof 67, somewhere north of $50,000. For most of you watching, I would recommend going with the 1954 to 1963 set. You're getting the 10 coins from 1954 to 1963, and it's only $1,595. That's $159 a coin, and it includes the 1954. The 54 is the problem child in your set. They're normally very heavily toned, even in proof 67 and proof 68 grade. The proof 67 you get is going to be pristine. It'll have survived with absolutely pristine surfaces, haze-free surfaces. Look at this coin, folks. It is as pristine and haze-free as the day it was struck over 70 years ago. And the entire 10-coin set for only $1,595. I have approximately 25 of these 10-coin sets. If you want to get more than one, please do so. Please do so. And if you ask, you shall receive a copy of cameo and brilliant proof coinage of the 1950 to 1970 era with either set. So there you have it. This is a great way to get started in the Franklin half dollar series. You get the 10 coin set for only $1,595. Some beautiful rare coins for only $159.50 a coin. That is a great way to start. Yeah, you're getting some great coins at a really great collector-friendly price. Thanks for watching this brief presentation, this introduction to the Franklin half dollar.